up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
You are listening to Pizain's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. Yo, let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Pizain's podcast. I am your host, Pizain the Pizain. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're everywhere. And additionally, follow us on social media. We're on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment. I read them all. I love to interact with the listeners, even if it's bad.
All 6 of you.
All 5 of you. That's right. That leads me into the next part of the podcast. Joining me tonight is my wife.
Me.
That's right. If we do a third one, maybe we will change this from Pizain's podcast to Wizain and Wife. Maybe Pizain and Wizife.
I can't commit to that. I could be very busy.
Well, we'll see. Until then, it's a Pizain's podcast with special guest, my wife. No sound effects this time. We're making our own. So sorry to disappoint you. There you go. Yep. Yippee-yo.
Heidi-ho, let's go.
So, my wife, what are you drinking right now?
I'm drinking a Cosmo because I'm in my Sex and the City era. I started rewatching the show. Not this, like, new, watered-down, woke bullshit that got revamped for 2022. I'm watching the original Gangstas with Samantha, the HBIC.
When Samantha used to show her boobies every episode?
Yeah, and I'm on season 3 rewatch, and Charlotte finally showed her titties. So the only one that has not shown her titties is Carrie, a.k.a. Sarah Jessica Parker. I mean, we've seen nip, we've seen side boob, but we have not seen full titty from her. Everyone else, we have seen full titty. And I gotta say, the only one that has really nice titties is Samantha. And she's the oldest, so good for her. Or as you would say, good for you.
Good for you. Yeah, I remember when Sex and the City first came out, it was like, it had the name Sex in it, and they all showed their boobies. So I remember just being a dude and watching a few episodes and like, hey, boobies. And then quickly it changed into this whole chick show, and I had to, jump ship.
Well, the first couple of seasons are really funny because they're not politically correct. It's, I'd say the first 2.5 seasons are like girl talk. Like if we go to brunch and we get drunk and we talk about banging and stuff, like it's pretty right on. And then it starts getting more watered down. Like, oh, no, we really talk this. No, we don't. Like, we talk about all the stuff. Like, the new stuff that came out with this new... What the fuck's it called? It's not called Sex and the City. It's called, like, I don't know.
And then there were 2 or something.
It's like called idroppedadeuce.com or something. Like, what's it called? Man, this is going to drive me crazy. Hang on, all 2 of you. Sex and City.
And then there were none, which is the amount of people watching Sex and the City and the amount of
And
people...
Just Like That. It's called And Just Like That, which that was one of her catchphrases from her column. It's like, and just like that. But like, the new show is so bad. I mean, I'm going to watch it, but it's stupid bad. They had to cancel Big because Big allegedly, raped, sexually assaulted, fondled, teabagged.
Who's Big?
Big, her husband.
Who's her?
Or she identifies as Carrie Bradshaw. Please use her correct
pronouns. Are you talking about Sarah Jessica Parker's character?
Yes. In Sex and the City, the original, in the end, she winds up with Big. I think his character's name is John, but that's kind of like the whole joke throughout the whole 6 seasons is, what's his real name? We don't really know. He's just referred to as Big because he's a big to-do. So in the end, she ends up with him. In the first movie, they're supposed to get married, but Carrie has like a I'm a spoiled princess moment, and they don't get married, and in the very end, they get married. So they get married, let's say, circa 2008. In the show, they kill him, in the new reboot, they kill him off in the first episode because they had to get woke and they had to get politically correct. And allegedly, he sexually assaulted a few women. I think it was all settled out of court. He confessed to having extramarital affairs outside of his marriage. I'm not saying he's a good person, but I don't really know the full details. But they canceled him. So they cancel him, and now in the new reboot, she's like living her best woke life with her girlies. They don't include Samantha, who was the best. Ask anyone. Samantha was the best character.
Why not?
Why not what?
Why not they include Samantha?
Because Samantha allegedly was a diva and the other girls didn't like her. So they didn't include her in the reboot. And the first season tanked. Horrible reviews. So then they teased the whole second season that Samantha's back. Samantha's coming back, guys. Don't you worry. She literally had a 5-second cameo where she was in the back of a limo talking on the phone.
Did she show her boobs?
No.
Lame.
But she had a failed Netflix show that didn't take off. So I have a feeling she could be back for the third season.
Did she show her boobs in the Netflix show?
No.
Lame.
It was about trans people and stuff.
Lame.
Any hoodles. So the second season, it's all about like Carrie fucking Aiden, which, let's be real, Aiden was the best in the original series.
Who's Aiden?
Aiden was the guy she was briefly engaged to, but she cheated on Aiden with Big. And then in the end, Aiden was basically too nice, and he wanted to have like the white picket fence and kids and a dog. So she left Aiden, and then she whored around New York for a little bit and ended up with Big.
You gotta wrap this up. We're like 7 minutes in.
The girlies understand. All -2 listeners understand what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying, get to it.
Well, you asked me what I was drinking, I said a Cosmo. And that's from Sex and the City.
Yippee-yo, there you go.
Heidi-ho, let's go.
So, let's start. Okay. The last time we had a podcast together was a week ago. The next day, we had brunch, and I've told our listeners my perspective of our brunch. Why don't you tell them your perspective of the same brunch?
Well, do you want the quick version or the K-cup version?
Okay.
The K-cup version. Okay, so K-cup version of brunch. We went to brunch, and there was a table full of, let's say, upper middle age women that were tanked when we got there. Instantly became besties with them. They were jealous of your, what did you get?
I got a 32-ounce Bloody Mary with 2 shrimps, 2 pickle spears, 4 pieces of bacon, 2 toothpicks containing 4 different olives with blue cheese.
Olives.
That's right. And pepperonis with a cayenne, I think, pepper rim.
He got a rim job with his drink.
Yes, I did.
Not from me, clearly. He got it from the 55-year-old server in her plaid skirt.
Skort,
her kilt. Any hoodles. So I got the build your own mimosas, because apparently it used to be $15 sink or swim mimosas, but some youngins ruined it for everybody. So now it's $15 for the table to build your own mimosa, which actually was a better deal. So we drank, we sang. There's an Elvis impersonator. At one point, somebody started singing Proud to be an American, which...
You're going to just gloss over the whole Elvis impersonator thing?
I'm getting to it. He was towards the end.
All right, well...
Any hoodles, back to me.
Spoiler alert.
I'm the talent. Chill out.
Okay.
So the first singer sang Proud to be an American, and we're a little tipsy and we're eating. Next thing I know, everyone's standing, and I was like, oh yeah, we're American, we have to stand. And then I look over and I see my roommate from college, circa 2006. And she's there with some dude. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be awkward. We did not end on good terms.
What happened?
Like at brunch or...
What happened with your old roommate?
My old roommate was a flaming whore. Like one day I was sick with the flu. And I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm not being dramatic. I'm not exaggerating. She had 3 guys in one day. So I'm downstairs sick on the couch, and literally it was a revolving door dick coming through our condo. And she banged 3 guys in one day. And then she had this thing where she'd go missing for weeks at a time. I didn't know if she was alive. I didn't know if she was dead. But this situation, she left her hair straightener turned on. And one night I'm in bed, living my best life, gonna go to work the next day because I was a college student that worked and had a scholarship, so I had to, be a goodie. And I smelled something. I smelled something really kind of like weird. So I went to her room and her hair straightener had been left on and was burning and melting the vanity. Like literally just like merged with the vanity.
Was it like burnt plastic smell?
Yeah. And so I was like, well, that's not good. So I texted her, called her out on it, like, what the fuck? Didn't hear back from her for, like, another 6 days. And then she was late on her rent. She had dropped out of school. She was getting dick on every corner of the street. So I was like, I don't think this is working out. I think you need to move out. So then she, like, I don't know. She, like, went MIA, lived her best life. I think she has a few kids. And I haven't seen her in, like, 20 years almost. Mm-hmm. So we're sitting at brunch and she walks in. I was like, oh no.
With her, I'm assuming, husband, right?
No, that was not her husband.
Oh no.
She is separated from her husband right now. Apparently that is her lover.
Do you think he knows about all the dick that's been inside of her?
If you looked at her, you could just tell. That's like anyone that's a Floridian. Let me just dumb it down this way. She's from Polk County. She's from Polk County, and she looks like she's from Polk County.
What kind of people are in Polk County? Like meth?
Meth heads, dickheads. Not the best people, other than Judd. Judd's like the only redeeming quality about Polk County.
That would be Grady Judd, right?
Sheriff Grady Judd. But she literally looks like she's from West Virginia and, like, fucked a manatee and moved to Florida.
What does Grady Judd tell you to do if somebody tries to break into your home?
Shoot him.
That's right.
Shoot him, empty the clip, then call the police. That's why he's our neighbor.
Now,
his sister used to be my boss, by the way.
Really?
I used to work for an auto insurance company. We won't say the name. But his sister was my boss, and she is just as cool as him. Just as cool.
That's cool. Now, back to your slutty ex-roommate. So, we're sitting at brunch, and over my shoulder, you see her and her...
her dick.
Yes, her newest penis. How many penises do you think have been inside of her? Like, if you had to guess.
Well... She was in the military at one point, and she did not finish her service.
No. Oh, I think she finished her service.
I think she finished a lot of services.
Yeah.
And let me just start by saying, we love the military. We love those who serve. God bless America and our troops.
She served more than anyone else.
She was so diehard that she served on her knees the majority of her service, as brief as it was.
Yes.
I don't know if she made it out of boot camp. Let's just say that. She got a dishonorable discharge in her vagina.
So back to my original question.
Wait, and we don't know what the original question was.
How many dicks do you think have been inside of this woman?
In the past year?
No, just in general. Are we in the hundreds?
I think she's had a few generals in her.
So we can say, let's just say 100.
I was going to say 75.
75? You're giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Well, she's not attractive. That's the problem.
Well, that doesn't seem to matter. You saw the one cop lady who basically banged the entire force, right? She wasn't attractive. And
she was cuter than my old roommate.
I didn't really get to see her. She was behind me. And
A lot of guys have been behind her. I almost feel bad because, like, she was actually a kind of nice person. She was just such a hot mess. And I think she has a teenage daughter now.
Oh, no. So she was behind me over my left shoulder. Behind me over my right shoulder. Describe what those people were.
Behind you. Those are my girlies.
Yes.
Those are my patriotic sisters. They were, like, probably in their 50s and 60s, and they were shit-faced. We walked in, they were shit-faced. We were probably there for 2 hours, and they were falling over drunk, and I respect that.
You wanted them to be your best friend, didn't you?
We became friends. It was like a longing. Like, we looked across the table at each other, and we each told each other what we were drinking, and I just knew that they would invite me into their sisterhood. Their sisterhood of traveling booze.
Yeah. That's 2 podcasts in a row. We've had the Sisterhood of Traveling Something.
Yep.
It was the Coochie Cutters last time.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Coochie Cutters, which I may still try out for the next season of DCC. Tryouts start next week.
And then we had the Sisterhood of the Traveling Booze.
Those are really my true sisterhoods.
Yeah. So, okay, so we had the Sisterhood of the Traveling Booze. We had the singer who was up there in normal clothes, singing
Proud to be American.
Proud to be American, and the entire, outside patio stood up while he sang it, with their hands over their hearts. And then he disappeared for 10 minutes?
He needed to cool off. It was a little hot.
And then what happened?
Elvis came out.
Elvis left the building? No, he entered the building. Why don't you tell everyone about it?
He fucked my old roommate on the stage. Just kidding. We were just sitting there about to pay the tab, and we hear da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And then everyone started going crazy, and I was like, what's happening? And then we saw it. It was Elvis. He had entered the building.
But not entered your old roommate.
I think he did in the parking lot.
Maybe. And one of your girlies, did they go up there?
Yeah, she did actually.
Yep.
She danced on stage and then put money in his belt, I think.
Yep. And then it got too hot.
It got hot on her, so we had to leave, and we also finished a lot of alcohol, so we had to go home.
Yep, and we did.
We did.
Yep. And that was the end of brunch. Now, from brunch until today, did anything interesting happen?
Yes. We had an epic encounter of the sketchy kind. We had somebody try to break into our house Tuesday night?
Yeah, so Wednesday, well, technically, it would have been...
It was 11:53 Tuesday p.m.
Yes, so Tuesday night. So Wednesday morning, I'm in the shower, and I'm kind of a weirdo. I get in the shower, and before the water gets hot, I'm just standing there, and I'm scrolling through my notifications on my phone to see what happened while I was sleeping. Sometimes I'll get a comment from one of you fine people telling me that you love or hate my podcast.
When he says sometimes, he means like once in a blue moon that all 3 of you guys message him.
That's right. Maybe that one person who habitually, gives me likes. I have to like
That's
it back.
me. He's like my Make-A-Wish kid.
That's right. So as I'm standing there, and I didn't sit, I stood. As I'm standing there in the shower, I look into my phone and I see ADT alert. 11:53 p.m. Doorbell rang. And I'm like, that's right. We pay for ADT. Sidebar. Don't get ADT. It fucking sucks. If you can actually get a technician out to help you out with any problem you have, they're great. But if you call customer service, it goes straight to India, and they read from a...
He was like
Eastern European, whatever. They read from a script, and they suck.
Until you tell them that you're going to sue them.
And it's expensive, and you buy, if you want to get cameras, you have to buy each camera, and the camera is like $200 each. And then, once you're done with the camera, you can't do shit with it because you have to use ADT to use the camera. It's all a big fucking scam. Anywho, Anywho, I look at the doorbell camera and, well, I see that there was somebody ringing the doorbell. And right now, I'm just kind of stalling a bit because my wife decided to stand up in the middle of our podcast and make herself another cosmopolitan. Now, if you've never had a cosmopolitan before and you're a man, good for you, because, well, that's a little bit if I had my soundboard. Like I said, I'm my own soundboard right now. But if you're
a vodka cranberry with lime.
But if you're a woman, what it is it is 1.5 ounces of vodka, ½ ounce lime juice, ½ ounce triple sec, ½ ounce cranberry juice. They say 1/4 ounce. I do ½ ounces on all that because the ladies like a little bit more flavor in the savor.
I like how you say the ladies like you're serving this to your lady.
I
made you. It to me.
I made you 2 of them tonight, and you love them.
Mine are better.
Yeah. Well, you're like 4 deep. How would you even know? Everything.
I'm actually 5.
Everything tastes better 5 deep. Better
5 deep and 2 glasses of wine.
And I'm sitting here just drinking a straight Irish whiskey.
Out of a martini glass.
Slade, I believe is the name. It's good. If you don't like, Jameson is the, whatever. It's like the Bud Light of Irish whiskey. And it's good. It's good. And then you have, what's Conor McGregor's proper number 7, I think. Or whatever.
Sure.
And that's okay. It tastes just like Jameson. I like Slade. Slade is my favorite Irish whiskey. So, my wife is doing the Conor McGregor walk right now, which...
From, what was the remake he did?
Roadhouse. House. Roadhouse. Oh, the hoodles.
They're doing a sequel of that.
With Conor McGregor showing up and his most worst... I think that's what made it so good, was his bad acting.
I think, there's literally some kid dying of cancer somewhere that said, I make a wish and I want a sequel. That's the only reason that they're doing a sequel.
Maybe.
Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted the first one. And when I say the first one, I mean the reboot. Reboots are the dumbest thing.
Because the Patrick Swayze one's like fucking legendary.
Okay, Fallen Homie, Patrick Swayze, Wolverines, Dirty Dancing. Like, Patrick Swayze was God's gift to the world. And what did we do? We made a reboot of Roadhouse.
With Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for a reboot. Okay, let's think. We've now rebooted Red Dawn.
Yes, which was terrible.
Which is Patrick Swayze's best film. That is everybody's best film. And if you haven't watched Red Dawn and you're a dude, you should kill yourself. Because that is one of the most, amazing, patriotic, awesome movies of all time.
Wolverines.
And then they remade it with my hall pass, Chris Hemsworth. And I still hated it.
He wasn't really one of the main characters, though, was he?
Yes.
And he was Patrick Swayze's character?
Yes.
That's right.
And it was bad.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
Well, they tried to make it modern. What did they make it with, North Korea?
And nobody cares.
Stupid.
I think, Korea. I remember we were sitting watching football at a restaurant and we saw the first preview. I'm like, oh no.
That was bad.
It was bad.
So let's bring this back. Bring it back. So at 11:53 p.m.
Oh, we're still talking about it. Okay.
We got a ring on our doorbell. Why don't you take it from there?
So my husband wakes me up because I work from home, so I wake up 5 minutes before I have to clock in. And he goes, somebody tried to get in the house last night. Gotta go to work. Bye. And I'm like, wait, time out. What the fuck? So we look at the ADT, and at 11:53, some lady walks up, which either she parked down the street or she literally walked to our house. And we live in a pretty nice neighborhood. I'm not saying we're like Bill Gates, but we live in a pretty nice area. And so this lady walks up, she rings the doorbell, and then she peeks in our window, kind of like looks like she's maybe jiggling the door handle. Don't really know for sure. Not going to assume. And she's talking to herself the whole time.
What does she say?
She's saying something with a really thick accent, and we can't really make out all of it. But then we hear, like, we know for sure she says something about window. Nobody's home. Nobody's home. She told me to leave it. And then she, like, steps back, like, literally eye fucks the camera and wanders off the same way she came.
So, you have a few theories about what they were. Go with theory number 1.
I don't know what my order of my theories are. So, first theory is she's a crackhead. And she wandered into our neighborhood and was just high on crack.
Theory number 2.
Theory number 2, which is probably the most, like, let's be diplomatic. Maybe one of her friends lives in our neighborhood and she said, I need you to drop off something at my house. And she was listening to her friend in her earbuds. And that's why it sounded like she was talking to herself. But then she realized, oh no, I'm at the wrong house. And she went back to her car and went to the right house.
What do you think she was dropping off?
Drugs.
Like marijuana or meth or crack?
Well,
or...
our next door neighbor is a hardcore hippie. And I don't care if you smoke the ganj. Like, I don't care if Mary is your emergency contact. Like, it's fine. Our next door neighbor is probably, what, in her, like, late 60s? And she has a YouTube channel of...
I don't think she's that old. She's like 60 maybe.
She looks rough. She looks like she doesn't believe in sunscreen.
She smokes cigarettes too, though.
Yeah, she's literally pretty trashy. But so, a quick summary of her. She lives at her boyfriend that's living in a hospice. His house. So he owns the house. She's just some hoe. And she has different men come over. And she has a fucking cat that we've literally gone toe-to-toe, almost like turn into punching each other over. Because the cat keeps coming in my fucking yard and shitting everywhere.
Our dog has gotten a hold of that cat 2 times and almost killed it 2 times.
And I tried to be diplomatic and said, hey, I don't want my dog to kill your cat. I don't fucking care if it kills your cat. I think it'd be funny, and I'd throw it in the pond, or I'd put it on your car.
I wouldn't. I don't want an animal to die.
No, like, I don't want my dog to kill the cat. But if he did, I wouldn't punish him. Like, he's protecting his property.
Yeah, it's on our property.
Yeah, like, I would make it a headdress. Like, I would make it a hat. Like, I would, you know.
I'm a 1/16 Cherokee Indian, and I find that offensive that you would make a cat a headdress.
I'm married to you, so I'm like 1/16 Cherokee. And in my vision quest, it told me it's fine. I, like, literally, like, the ancestors told me it's cool.
Yeah.
1/16 of them.
The other 15, 16 said, get the fuck out of here, white woman.
They said, you white cunt, what are you doing? And I said, Heidi ho, let's go. Any hoodles. So that's my other theory, is that this lady was dropping off pot for our next door neighbor and was off by one house.
Do you have a third theory, or is it just the 2 theories?
That is my theory. That's my third one. First one was she's a crackhead. Second one was she's just simply lost. Third one was she's dropping off drugs for hippy dippy next door.
I don't think you said anything about her be simply lost, but that's okay.
Look,
we'll just assume you did.
I am simply lost right now, okay?
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But the funny thing was, I was awake during all this, and I am assuming our ADT must have like a sensor where it doesn't ring through the house after a certain time, because we didn't hear the doorbell ring. My dog was sleeping the entire time, and he barks at everything. Ask Mr. Tinnitus next to me. My dog will literally bark if somebody, you know, takes their trash out 3 streets over.
Hard reset. Let's give you the story about why I have persistent tinnitus for the rest of my life.
And we invite you to the 2025 tinnitus walk.
At our old house, we were sitting on the couch, and my dog, Wilbur, he loves to lay on the couch next to us, lays around. He lays his squishy chin on my shoulder. Wow.
He's a pit bull, by the way, and he was a $1 rescue and foster fail.
And he has these squishy jowls, and he lays these squishy jowls on my shoulder. And as we're sitting there watching whatever show that we happen to be streaming on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever streaming service at the time, he hears a knock at the door. And being the protective dog that he is, he lifts his head, but does not turn it. And, well, where is your ear from your shoulder? It's right there. And he bellows out a bark that is louder than, well, a Metallica concert at full blast at an amphitheater.
Like Metallica circa 1999 or now?
Like Metallica circa 1980 when they still had like young energy.
Before they tried to fight
Napster? Yes. Pre-Napster.
I almost said Netflix.
Pre-Napster Metallica bark right into my ear.
That just showed our age.
It just reverberated all through my brain. And, well, I recovered from that one. That actually didn't do it. Take that same story, times it by 2, and the second time it happened, well, now I have persistent tinnitus in my left ear. My wife doesn't take it seriously.
Nope. It's not like spondylosinusitis.
It's worse. That's right. It's worse.
No, we talked to the vet about it. He didn't agree.
I have in my ear constantly, never goes away.
Eagle.
It never goes away. Constantly in my ear.
Well, that was annoying for 3 seconds. You think you'd stop that shit?
Any hoodles. How did that whole thing start?
Did you just say any hoodles?
I've said it a few times now.
No, you said
After you said I should say any hoodles. I've been saying any hoodles after that. How did this whole thing start? The dog.
The dog did not bark.
Did not bark. After barking in my ear and giving me permanent ear damage.
Okay, our dog is 12 to 13 plus.
Now.
I'm talking about when the lady tried to murder us the other night.
I know. We don't want to talk about my tendinitis anymore.
We don't care about your
tinnitus. Okay. You take over.
Or we don't care about your tendinitis either. Your fake injury about your tendons.
Or my testicular torsion. None of that.
Like, you produced one child. That's all you had to do. No one cares about your testicular torsion.
I'm going to go grab another whiskey. You take over for a while.
Oh, no.
Wizane's Wizife is the host of the show.
Okay. Wizane is really slow at doing everything. So I'm going to apologize in advance because you're going to get me for the next probably 18 minutes. He's doing this slow walk thing thinking he's funny. Any hoodles. So back to the lady that tried to walk into our house. She walked away. Nothing ever since then. We don't really understand it. None of the other neighbors caught her on their videos, which was kind of weird because, like I said, we live in a pretty nice neighborhood. Nobody caught her on camera, so we're wondering what the hell. I talked to a few neighbors. They have no idea what's going on, so I'm just going to make the excuse it was a fluke and she was lost and dropping off something for somebody that wasn't us and was confused. But that's fine. So, oh, look, he's back. He's not making a mixed drink. He's just drinking straight liquor for his heart.
That's right. Well, when I drink whiskey, I don't mix it with anything. I just drink it straight. It's about the only alcohol that you can drink straight and not be called an alcoholic unless you do it every night, which I don't do it every night. So.
According to my OBGYN, unless you're pounding a 32 ounce of anything, you're not an alcoholic.
Word.
But, you know.
All right, so we've gone through brunch.
We didn't talk about our dog is healthy. We were getting to that, and you interrupted.
Hold on. Let me do
K-Cups podcast.
Let me do
Slow Drips podcast.
Let me do my host duties here, okay?
You're the host?
Recap.
That's not your show. I'm the
I'm
captain.
sorry.
I'm the captain now.
This is Pizain's podcast.
No, it's K Cups slow drip to wake you up. Heidi ho, let's go.
So to recap,
Cap.
since last week we had brunch with the Elvis impersonators, K
Did we
Cups,
wake you? I'm sorry. Baby.
K Cups ex roommate, and her new friends, the 55-year-old sloshers, with the Elvis impersonator. Then we had the person who tried to break into our home via the ADT doorbell.
We also, I don't know if we mentioned, she tried to like jiggle a handle and peek in our window. So it was kind of weird.
Yes, it was kind of weird. Then we took our 12-year-old pit bull to the vet. Now, it's not like the vet is just down the street. We used to live about 40 minutes north of where we do now. And some things stay up there, like my wife's hairdresser. And
He says this, maybe it's hairdresser. Okay, because he took our kid with me 2 months ago to our kid's first official haircut, which my hairdresser's been cutting my hair since I was 15. I'm not going to say my age. Let's just say I'm almost 40. I was one of her first real clients when she got out of hairdressing school. So our kid got his first official haircut there. So my husband brought the kid. He got his haircut, and they went away so I could finish my duties.
You said duty.
Like, he had to go once to my hairdresser in the past 16, 17 years of us being together.
What my wife is not saying is her parents live like 10 minutes away from her hairdresser, and the vet that we just took our dog to is literally across the street from her hairdresser. So she's acting like I had to go one time since we've moved down here 4 years. Yeah, 2 times, 4. No, we go there a lot because we have to see her parents, which is fine. You have to do that, you know? You have to go see your parents. It's important to see your parents because as they get older, well, things just aren't the same. Things are kind of like the debate last night with Joe Biden and how he looked, trying to explain, I have no idea. Nobody does. That's a precursor to something else we're going to talk about later. Now, if you hear any kind of background noise right now, that's my wife trying to make another Cosmopolitan. That would be number 6 for you? 6 Cosmopolitans, 3 glasses of wine at dinner. 2.5. She says 2.5. She got a heavy pour, so I'm going to give her 3. We had a family dinner. Oh, here, I tell you what. While I'm waiting for my wife to come back, tonight we went to sushi again. We had a sushi boat again, which is always fucking delicious. I love a fucking sushi boat. And while we were there, I had a hot sake. Hot sake tonight. Love a hot sake. And my wife had her 3 glasses of Pinot Grigio. Was it Pinot Grigio? Yeah, she's more of a Sauvignon Blanc fan, but that's okay. And yeah, it was delicious. There's one of our waitress there is moving to the area I grew up in, so she keeps asking me what are good areas to move, and I just keep telling her, I'm like, hey, that's not a good place. Yeah, that's a good place. I just know these things. I'm sorry that this might not be the most interesting topic right now. I'm really just trying to, you know, delay time right now until she gets back. She's freaking out about ice. Like, I can magically make ice from my fingertips. Like, I'm fucking Iceman from the X-Men. I can't make ice, dear. I can't make fucking ice. I'm a fucking human being. I am not a mutant.
Are you like 1/16th like mutant?
I'm 1/16th Cherokee Indian. I am not 1/16th Iceman. If anything, I could call a bald eagle to come down onto my forearm, and or have a raccoon come up and bring you an apple.
Okay, anyone for it.
Or I don't know. But oh no, she overpoured. I wonder if she was just going to drink it all anyway. I don't think we're going to make it to brunch tomorrow morning, dear. I think we'll have to save it for Sunday.
Oh, look, a moth.
A moth? This is not good podcast material. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to our 2 listeners right now.
You're -4.
Yes. I apologize. I apologize. Hey, joining us today is K-Cup Slow Drip. She just put down her new Cosmopolitan, and she's back, people.
I'm sorry for the 3 minutes I was gone. You had to deal with him. What do you want to talk about?
So,
The debate?
yeah. You got to learn a thing or two about the whole podcast thing.
Sorry, I know you've been doing this for 16 days. Educate me.
You're an extreme talent. I will give you that. You are. But there is a process to things. Sometimes you gotta present things so people are eager for more. You can't just spoiler alert. Oh, you want to talk about the or whatever debate? This is the podcast. You want to talk about the debate? No, you can't. You got to do it like this. You go.
Our dog's growling. Wait, did we finish the story about our puppy?
No, we didn't actually. Go ahead. Can you do a? She's staring at me.
What's my name?
Ah, fuck. All right, 41 minutes. Okay.
K-cup version.
Can we do a short K-cup version of that?
So we took our 12-year-old dog. We don't know his exact age. We fostered him. He's a pit bull, covered in scars. He's my baby. Took him to the vet, and he has to be a little drugged when he goes because he's kind of an asshole, but he means well. Take him to the vet. He goes in. The vet's like, I'm not even going to do blood work. I'm not going to do a fecal. I'm not going to update anything because he was just here for surgery 5.5 months ago, and he was healthy, all things considered. He had surgery 5.5 months ago to have a cancerous tumor removed, and the vet felt like he did pretty good at removing it. Once we got the results, it was a category 2 shawarma something. That's not the real name. Shawarma. Schwinn cell carcinoma. But he got clean margins, and he said, I think we did a good job. Nothing is 100%, but, I think I got it all. So results came back. There's a 20% chance it could grow back, but usually it does grow back within 4 months if it's going to. So we're kind of in the hopefully all clear zone. And other than, that, the vet said he looks good. He's got healthy teeth, healthy body, healthy skin. He needs to lose a little weight. So let's just lose 5 pounds, and hopefully that'll help with any arthritis he's getting. And he looks good. He's spoiled, and he's a senior, and hopefully we can get a few more years out of him, and he can live his best life.
And that is the update on our dog, and we are very happy that he is still healthy at his age.
A pup date update.
Pup date update. Now, with full transparency of this podcast, we had some technical difficulties where we had to cut out about 20 minutes of the ending because, well, my voice changer, which if you've listened to previous podcasts, I have a voice changer with the soundboard. It went haywire, and the rest, the 20 minutes that was left, well, it made us all sound like chipmunks. And so we had to cut it out, unfortunately.
But now you get the 2.0 version.
You get the 2.0 version. And the only reason I bring this up was because after we realized all that, my wife and I decided to make about 35 dino nuggies that we would normally give to our child, and we split them between the two of us.
Okay, it was really like 18.
So 18 total? I would say 30. And yeah, so with some little bit of ketchup and ranch. Yeah, I'm pretty full on dino nuggies right now, and I am not ashamed to admit it. Frankly, if you're gonna eat nuggies and they're not dino nuggies, you're eating nuggies wrong. It's just not the same thing. Well, that leads us to the crescendo of the podcast, the climax, if you will, of the porno that is our talkathon. Apparently, my wife does not know how to record a podcast because at the most important point, she decided to stand up and leave. Well, we will wait for her to come back. It's not like we already had to edit the fuck out of this thing.
My dog needed a puppuccino, so my dog gets a puppuccino.
What's a puppuccino?
Whipped cream for a puppy.
Okay.
And he's happy now.
That leads us to the debate between Donald J. Trump, Donald Jamiroquai Trump, and Joseph
Ezekiel
Biden. Well, you could tell from the moment they walked out, when Biden came a-strolling, waving to nobody. And then, well, it was all downhill from there.
It was bad.
K-Cup, take it from there.
Oh, it was bad. Like, nobody won. Nobody did well in this debate. Biden he looked like a Silver Alert on stage. Somebody needed to find him and take him home. It was just sad. Like, I felt bad for him. He was just lost and confused, and I just wanted to give him a little hug. And Trump didn't do... Hey. Shh. Our dog is talking to us right now. Trump didn't do much better. Trump, he had one zinger in there, and that was it. Like, it wasn't circa 2016 Hillary Clinton debate where he said he was going to lock her up. Like, it wasn't great. It was just, we need a crowd. We need some life in the debate, because Trump just kind of kept his head down, his eyes away from Biden. It was very reminiscent of the Amber Heard trial, where Johnny Depp refused to make eye contact with her. That's how I kind of felt like this was going.
And Joe Biden would definitely be Amber Heard in this situation.
Oh, yeah. Joseph, Sinclair, Jamiroquai, Ezekiel, Biden was just, like, lost. It was just not good. It was not good for America. It was not good for either party. It just looked like a really sloppy divorce court. Like, it was sad.
How about the part where they decided to have a pissing contest about their golf handicaps?
That was the most heated part of the debate. That was the most dramatic. Life was brought back into the debate where they were arguing over their handicaps at golf. This is where our country's at. This is what our leadership has led us to. Two senior citizens arguing about their golf handicap. You might as well just go to the villages in Florida and talk to a bunch of people about golf. That is how this debate went. And neither one really gives a fuck. They're just phoning it in for their party at this point.
What's the villages?
The Villages is a community of senior citizen swingers north of us. And it's pretty conservative. But the whole thing is like, you'll see the memes where they have the shower loofahs. And each color shower loofah color defines what their sexual relationship status is. It's pretty weird, and I have family members that live up there, so it's pretty creepy.
Yeah. The Villages is also known for being like the STD.
Oh, STD capital of Florida.
Yes.
And the average age is like high 60s.
Yes. So just to kind of get back to the whole loofah thing, there is a thing you can actually look up online, like a meme that tells you what each loofah means. Like a white loofah is a novice and beginner. A purple loofah is a voyeur and people who like to watch other people have sex. Pink is a soft swap, which is people who like to do it with others in the room. A blue is the lowest level of full swap, those who can play well with others, while a yellow for those who want to have fun but are still nervous. The black is a full swap, those who say, what the hell, let it all go down. And the teal, well, the teal is a bisexual for those that want to increase their dating chances.
Yep.
Oh my. And that is the Villages.
Heidi ho, oh, let's throw up.
Yes, let's throw up indeed.
My uncle, I think, is a full-on black loofah.
Indeed. I would think he is as well. Well, I think he would like to be a black loofah, but the other people in the Villages relegate him to white loofah status, which is novice and beginner.
Well, I don't know what we can say about his relationships on here.
Let's not even get into it.
Probably for the best.
And that puts a nice cherry on top, talking about the debate. Do we even need to go any further? If you saw it, you saw it. You know what happened. Not like Trump won, but more like Biden lost.
Trump didn't lose, let's just put it that way.
Biden lost his marbles.
He lost a lot. America lost a lot last night.
He might have lost his faculties.
He
And lost his continence.
He lost a lot on stage. He lost his poops. He lost his peas. And he lost his respect.
Yep.
Heidi-ho. Let's go.
Well, like we do every episode of Pizain's podcast, let's end it on a day in history. Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Francis.
Well, it says here
Francis Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand. Franz. Assassinated.
This is attempt 2 and you're still doing it wrong.
I'm reading it from the article, my dear.
I'm sorry that you're not fancy European descent.
Assassinated.
You dirty potato.
Sparking World War I in 1914, while the Treaty of Versailles.
God, did you fail American European history?
I failed at nothing.
This is like
I just read it like it's presented.
This is European History 101.
Versailles.
Just because you're 1/16th Cherokee doesn't mean you have to like ignore the rest of the world's history.
I am 1/16th, not giving a fuck about this.
But this is like 15/16ths of the rest of your bloodline.
Formally ending World War I in 1919. Stonewall Uprising begins in 1969. Elon Musk was born in 1971, making him 52.
You also failed at math.
I failed at nothing. And yet you still married me.
I know, because I was waiting for those casino rights.
And basketball coach Pat Summitt dies in 2016.
Oh, she's a Chi Omega.
Yes, she is.
That's one of my sisters.
You're telling the people you were a Chi Omega?
I am a Chi Omega. It is for a lifetime.
Oh. Who else was a Chi Omega?
Me. Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
What's her face? That blonde bitch.
Yes, so important, the blonde bitch.
Well, she got kicked out because she was a hoe. On the DCC, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, there's a Chi Omega that made the squad in the nearest episode. She fought hard and she deserved her place on the squad.
Well, we have a quote from Pat Summitt. And
Really?
And I would really appreciate it if you wouldn't.
It's about sisterhood.
If you don't want responsibility, don't sit in the big chair.
Heidi-ho, let's go.
To be successful, you must accept full responsibility. Well, if you don't want to accept responsibility, don't sit in the big chair. I sit in a big chair. A big chair.
You're sitting on the couch.
Exactly. It doesn't get bigger than a couch.
Don't misquote one of my sisters.
With a big chair.
We're from the same bloodline.
And while you listen to me speak with words out of my voice into a microphone, into your ears, while I sit in a big chair, which is also called a couch. Shh.
Don't shush me. We're talking about one of my sisters.
Shh. And this is the most important part of the podcast.
I will curb stomp you.
You know I get into a groove on this, and you can't fuck up my quote of the day in history.
Yeah, we can. We can just hit pause and redo it like we're doing this part of the podcast. Heidi-ho, let's go.
To be successful, you must accept full responsibility.
You already said that.
And I accept responsibility. Responsibility for making the poor decision of bringing my wife onto these podcasts. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, download the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can find us anywhere. We're on, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube. You can find us on all the good ones. You got some shitty ones you listen to? We might be on there too. I don't know. I did RSS feeds on all those too. You might see us, you might not. If not, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Go to the good ones. Yippee yo, let's go. Follow us
Heidi-ho,
on
let's go.
social media. X, TikTok,
X marks the
Instagram.
spot.
We're on all of them. Give us a comment. Give us a like. Say, hey, Pizain the Pizain. K-Cup, she got that slow drip going. And I will tell you, do not say such bad things about my wife.
Why is anyone saying bad things about me?
Well, have you heard yourself?
I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like a Make-A-Wish kid at the asylum.
Having said all of that,
You know what people say about you, all three of your listeners.
what would you like to say to our listeners as parting words, my dear?
Francis Ferdinand. Say his name.
Francisco Fernando.
Francis Ferdinand. Say his name, Wayne. Say it.
French fries.
Freedom fries, first off.
Franco.
James Franco.
James Franco. Fanique.
Slap and tickle. You're in a pickle.
Are you done?
Never.
Do you have anything else to say to the people?
I will.
Okay. Well,
Oakley dokley, onto the chokely.
that has been another episode of Pizain's podcast. Special guest, my wife.
Me.
Until next time.
Heidi ho. Let's go.
See ya.
Francis Ferdinand.